So hello learner, once again I welcome on the class of construction management. So I hope you all are safe and doing well. So in the previous discussion we have seen that how to the various rule to draw the network, and after that errors in the network diagram, and in the last I have discussed about the how to number the events, that is Fulkerson rule. So today I will discuss the difference between the firstly I will discuss the methods of the network technique. That is, the first one is PERT, that is project evaluation and review technique, and the second one is CPM, that is critical path method. And after that I will discuss the difference between the PERT and CPM, and then I will start the project evaluation and review technique. So let us start about the network technique. Network technique. So there are two methods. The first one is called project or program evaluation and review technique, that is also known as PERT, and the second one is critical path method, that is called CPM. So firstly I will discuss what is the difference between the project evaluation review technique and critical path method. So the difference between PERT and CPM. So if I draw a line, and this will be PERT and this is CPM. So in the first point, if I tell you the PERT is based on probabilistic approach. CPM is based on deterministic approach. Second one is it is event oriented, it is activity oriented. Third one is it is used in research and development program, it is used in the construction evaluation, manufacturing and maintenance. Similarly, fourth one, In part analysis, each activity has 3 time estimates. In CPM, each activity has only one time estimates. In part, each activity follows beta distribution. In CPM, each activity follows normal probability distribution. In part, cost is directly proportional to time. In CPM, cost is not proportional to time. So these are the major difference between CPM and PERT. So the first difference is PERT is based on the probabilistic approach, CPM is based on the deterministic approach. PERT is an event oriented and it is an activity oriented. It is used in R&D program, research and development, and it is used in the construction, manufacturing and maintenance. In PERT analysis, each activity has 3 time estimates. In CPM, each activity has only one time estimate and each activity follows beta distribution. In CPM, each activity follows normal probability distribution. In PERT, cost is directly proportional to time, and in CPM, cost is not directly proportional to time. So let us start about the PERT. Project or program evaluation and review technique. So this technique was used by US Navy. It is based on probabilistic approach, and as I told you that each activity has 3 time estimates. Each activity has 3 time estimates. So each activity in PERT each activity has 3 time estimates. And what are these 3 times? So the 3 time estimates is, first one is optimistic time, that is denoted T0. Pessimistic time, TP, and the third one is most likely time, TL. So what is optimistic time? What is pessimistic time? So the first is optimistic time, T0. So it is the minimum time required to complete an activity. It is the minimum time required to complete an activity, and this time is called optimistic time. It is denoted by T0. Similarly, the second one is pessimistic time, TP. So maximum time required to complete an activity, and when worst condition is there, then maximum time required to complete the activity. It is denoted by TP. Similarly, the third time estimates, that is most likely time. So it is the time required to complete an activity in normal condition, and this time is called most likely time if normal condition prevails. So if I talk about the magnitude wise, so the pessimistic time is maximum, then most likely time, then optimistic time. So if I see the distribution, so let us assume this is the time required, and this is the distribution of, so this is most likely time, this is optimistic time, and this is pessimistic time. So each activity in part, each activity follows beta distribution. So the first one is symmetric curve. So in symmetric curve, let us assume this is our this is completion time, and this is function x. So let us assume this is the optimistic time, and this is most likely time, that is mean, and this is pessimistic time. So in symmetric curve, we can see that mu is equal to most likely time, and we can write TP minus TL is equal to TL minus T0. Similarly, skewed right. So in skewed right, this is the curve, this is most likely time, and this is the mean, and this is optimistic time, and this is pessimistic time. Similarly, this is completion time and number of activities. So in skewed right, what we can say, mu is less than most likely time, and TP minus TL is less than TL minus T0. TP minus TL is less than TP minus TL is less than TL minus T0. So this is the skewed right. Similarly, skewed left curve can also be skewed left. You can see that completion time, this value is mu, this is most likely time, optimistic time and pessimistic time. So in this curve, mu is greater than most likely time, and TP minus TL is greater than TL minus T0, where TP, TL and T0 we know the notation. So these are the three curves I have discussed. Either it is symmetric curve, or skewed left, or skewed right. So in a probability distribution curve, in a probability distribution curve, 68% area lies between plus minus sigma from the mean value mu. Similarly, in a probability distribution curve, 95% area lies between plus minus 2 sigma from the mean mu, and similarly 99.7% area lies between plus minus 3 sigma from the mean value mu. So what does it means? The range of 68% area lies between 68% mu plus sigma. Similarly, mu minus 2 sigma is 95% area mu plus 2 sigma, and similarly mu minus 3 sigma to 99.7% mu plus 3 sigma. So if I draw the distribution, probability distribution, so this is the probability distribution curve, this is completion time, and this is the mean. So about 68% area it lies between, this is plus sigma minus sigma, this is 68%. Similarly 95% area it lies between plus 2 sigma to minus 2 sigma, this value. This is 95% of the area, and 99.7% area lies between this is 3 sigma minus 3 sigma. So this is the distribution in the probability distribution curve. So in PERT analysis, the uncertainty is depends on the value of standard deviation. So standard deviation, higher the value of standard deviation, greater will be the uncertainty to complete the project. So this standard deviation sigma can be computed as Tp minus T0 by 6. Higher the value of sigma, higher the uncertainty of the to complete the project. Similarly, variance can be computed as sigma square is equal to Tp minus T0 by 6 whole square. And the third parameter is expected time, that is T. So expected time is the weighted mean of T0, TL and Tp, and the expression of expected time is T0 plus 4TL plus Tp by 6. So this is the expected time to complete an activity. And the fourth one is now I am going to discuss the central limit theorem. Central limit theorem. So let us assume capital N be the activities, n number of activities in which each activity follows beta distribution and mu1, mu2, mu3, mu_n be the mean, and sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, sigma n be the individual standard deviation of n activities. Entire activity follow the normal distribution. So we can write mu is equal to mu1 plus mu2 plus mu3 plus mu n. Along the critical path. Similarly, the standard deviation can be written as sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square plus so on and so forth, sigma n square along the critical path. And what is so where the critical path is that path which consumes maximum of the time resource, or it may also be defined as the path along which, if the project is executed, maximum time is required. So how to compute the critical path and how to compute the duration of the critical path, that will be covered in the coming classes. So let us take one problem based on the expected time and standard deviation. So this is the question. 3 time estimates for the activities are given below. So if 3 time estimates are given, it means that it is the question from the project evaluation and review technique, that is part, because in part each activity follow 3 time estimates. Find the expected time and variance for each activity. So we have to compute the expected time for each activity and variance for each activity. Also find which activity has more reliable time estimates. So this is given in the question. For activity A, the optimistic, most likely and pessimistic time is given. For B it is given, and for C is 3 time estimates is given. So firstly we have to compute the expected time for each activity. So TE, and after that standard deviation and variance sigma square. So for sample A, sorry, for activity A, expected time can be computed as T0 plus 4TL plus TP by 6. So it is T0 is 10 plus 48 plus 14 divided by 6, so it is coming 12. So the expected time for activity A is 12. Similarly, for the expected time for B can also be computed as, so it will be 6 plus 32 plus 12 by 6, so it is 8.33. Similarly, for the activity C can be expected time, so 5 plus 50 plus 10, 50 and 10, 65 by 6, so it is, sorry, 40 plus 10, 50, 55 by 6, so it is 9.16. Similarly, the standard deviation can be computed as, so the standard deviation for activity A is TP minus T0 by 6. So TP is 14 minus 10 by 6. 14 minus 10 by 6, so it is 0.67. Similarly, variance, so variance is, so similarly the variance can be computed as variance is equal to sigma a whole square, so 0.67 whole square, so it is 0.45. So the standard deviation for a is 0.67 and the variance is 0.45. Similarly, for b, the standard deviation can be computed as Tp minus T0 by 6, so 12 minus 6 by 6, so it is unity, and the square of unity is also unity. Similarly, the standard deviation for activity C can be computed as Tp minus T0 by 6, 10 minus 5 by 6 means 5 by 6, so it is 0.833. So the standard deviation is a square of this 0.69. So the first part we have completed. We have to compute the expected time and variance for each activity. So we have computed. In the second part, it is asking find which activity has more reliable time estimates. So as we know that higher the value of standard deviation, greater will be the uncertainty to complete the project. So for activity, we can see that for activity B, the standard deviation is maximum, and for activity A, the standard deviation is minimum. So we can write activity B has higher value of standard deviation, and activity A has lesser value of standard deviation. Means activity B has more uncertainty to complete the project, and the most reliable activity is A, because due to the lower value of sigma. So most reliable activity is A, more uncertain activity is B. So dear student, today I have discussed about the difference between the CPM and PERT, and after that I have started the project evaluation and review technique. So in project evaluation and review technique, I have discussed the as I told you, this is the based on the probabilistic approach. So in this method, we have seen that the PERT is based on the 3 time estimates. For each activity there are 3 time estimates. The first one is optimistic time, pessimistic time, and most likely time. And after that we have discussed that how to compute the standard deviation along the critical path, and how to compute the mean along the critical path. So in the next class I will discuss the how to compute the critical path, and how to compute the duration of the critical path, and certain problems based on the project evaluation and review technique.